Good evening, everyone. It's Wednesday, and it's Sharing Wellness Promoting Health Wednesday. And today I'm going to share some information from this month's newsletter from Stephen Horn and myself on Did Someone Say Sinuses? So remember, this information's educational. I'm not diagnosing, treating, curing, or preventing diseases. But it is that time of year when your nose can become all stuffed up or try running away on you. And many of us suffer with rhinitis or sinusitis as well as allergies this time of year. Those are very, very common. So when we look at rhinitis, it's really an acute inflammation of the nose, eyes, and throat. It affects about 7% of the population. There's seasonal allergic rhinitis, which is like allergies to things like pollens. And then there's non-seasonal, which is being allergic to things like dust, animal, dander, or mold. And then there's non-allergic, which means that chemical irritants can trigger it. Chronic sinusitis merely means an inflammation of the sinuses, and about 13% of the population has that. So some symptoms associated with allergic rhinitis is sneezing, running, or stuffy nose. Maybe your nose itches. You may have watery or itching eyes. I know this time of year when I go for a walk down the lane, my eyes just tear on me. You may notice some dark circles under the eyes, headaches, pressure, sore or scratchy throat. You may even have some digestive upset, from all the drainage and the reaction. And then you may be extra tired. So when we have an allergic reaction in the body, our immune system, which is overly sensitive, reacts to something, and that produces immunoglobulin antibodies, and then mast cells are releasing histamine, which causes inflammation. And this creates symptoms that your body's trying to flush these irritants out. So the symptoms that you have are really your body trying to get rid of the things that are irritating it through your eyes, your nasal passages, and your sinuses. If you have hay fever or seasonal allergies, those occur during specific seasons of the year, and they're usually caused by pollen. Trees and grass pollens are big culprits, especially ragweed, dandelions. By me, those wish trees that put those white puffy things kill me this time of year. Other forms are going to come from dust mites, animal dander, or reactions to chemicals. So when we have this type of reaction, we always take antihistamines, and antihistamines block the action of the histamine in the body. And some side effects of histamines are dizziness or drowsiness. Maybe your mucus gets a little thicker. Other side effects may be headaches or dry mouth. So this time of year, hydration is extra important because we need to keep the body moisturized, so everything flows. So mucus traps irritants, and our tears and our runny nose all wash away these irritants. And we don't want our eyes to become excessively dry or our nostrils, because we want to flush things out. And histamine also draws water to the tissue, so we want to make sure that when we're having this reaction, our body's hydrated so the histamine has the water to work with. Sometimes you may want to take a pinch of salt in your water, natural salt like pink salt, to help flush the irritants from you. Sometimes I use a nasal spray or a neti pot. Some of the supplements that can help are nettle leaf and vitamin C. Nettle leaf actually contains histamine but reduces the reactions in our body, and it helps to desensitize the mast cells and can help calm an allergic reaction. You can do nettle leaf in a capsule. There's a lot of herbal combinations from companies that contain nettle leaf for supporting the sinuses during allergy season. It also comes in tea. Vitamin C doesn't block histamine reactions, but it does help break down things, and it's very anti-inflammatory. So you may want to add some vitamin C to your daily regimen, again with plenty of water. And there's also quercetin, and you may see that in a lot of allergy supplements as well. And that's a bioflavonoid that helps stabilize mast cells. and it works well with vitamin C. And it's found in many foods that are also rich in vitamin C. So quercetin and vitamin C occur naturally in a lot of foods like red onions, red apples, grapes, berries, cherries. And elderberries are also a great source of quercetin and have benefits for loosening mucus and decongesting. There's also eyebright, maybe not as well known, but it's kind of an astringent herb which tightens and tones, and it calms inflammatory reactions. It's helpful if your mucus is really thin and watery and you've got a lot of drainage and your nose is itchy and your eyes are itchy. You can also, take it with nettle leaf because it makes a good combination. Other herbs that help with allergies would be goldenrod, which seems to be historically helpful for allergies to cat hair, and that also works well with eyebright and nettle. Burdock, ambrosia, supposed to help with ragweed, and herbicana is a good decongestant. There's also a lot of homeopathic remedies out there, homeopathics for allergy or sinus support, and homeopathy is based on the principle that they give you very diluted doses of remedies that can actually cause allergy-like symptoms in your body, and that helps to desensitize your immune system so it doesn't overreact. So you may want to check at some places for an appropriate homeopathy remedy that may work for your specific allergies. There's also a lot of homeopathic remedies out there for local pollen, dust mold, animal dander, and other sources of irritation. I know Allergena is a homeopathic company, and they have homeopathic remedies for all the different areas in the United States. So there's one made specifically for your area, like the Midwest, Florida, out west, and I take the one for my area, which would be the Midwest, Indiana. And I find it really helpful this time of year. A lot of people also take bee pollen and eat local honey, local raw honey. Because if you take local bee pollen internally, it can help diminish pollen allergies, so they say. You can also start out really slow with it and work your way up. And many people have had benefits eating locally grown honey, which is unfiltered honey that removes the pollen from it. So then that kind of helps you build up tolerance to the allergy. Then many of us have sinusitis symptoms, which is kind of like a thick nasal discharge, post-nasal drainage, difficulty breathing through your nose, you're all stuffed up. You may have trouble with taste and smell. You may feel pain or pressure around your eyes or your nose or your cheeks or maybe in your forehead. You may get a little bit of ear pain, coughing, sore throats, bad breath, or fatigue. You can have acute or chronic sinus problems, and acute typically comes from an infection. They say if your mucus is white, you're probably viral. If it's yellow, you may want to go see a doctor because it could be bacterial. And chronic may be bacterial, but they say a lot of times it's from fungus and molds. And you may find that nasal sprays or washes like a neti pot or saline nasal sprays is really helpful. That's what I do when I get really dry. Or sometimes golden seal or echinacea can help. You can also do steam inhalations or inhale right from the bottle. Eucalyptus, pine, thyme, rosemary, ravensara, tea tree, cajeput. Those are great essential oils that you can diffuse, make a mister with, or do a steam with. And if you don't know how to do a steam, you just take a pot of water and gently boil it and drop in a drop or two of eucalyptus or one of the oils, cover your head with a towel and breathe in. There's also lots of herbal remedies out there that can assist the sinuses with all this congestion, and those would be like fenugreek and thyme, herbacanta, horseradish. How many of you have eaten horseradish or a spicy cocktail sauce and your nose runs? So, maybe you want to mix them up next time you're stuffed up. Burdock root also helps. It's a very cleansing herb. Golden seal or bitter orange. But when we're talking about natural health, we like to look at, what's causing this. And, you're having a reaction to something that's irritating your body. So there's healthy lifestyle things you can do as well. You can check out your household cleaning products and what kind of chemicals you're exposing yourself to, using natural products in place of them. When you're dusting the house or working in the yard or sanding or working with drywall, you want to wear a good respiratory mask. Some people live in an area where there's a lot of air pollution, and maybe you want to think about some type of air filtration system in your apartment or home. And if you can't get an air filtration system, you want to at least change your furnace filter regularly. You also want to eliminate foods and food additives that may be causing you problems. A lot of times you'll notice when you eat something, your nose may run, or you may get congested or bloated or feel yucky. And those things are irritating to your specific body, so you may want to get rid of them. And when we have an allergic reaction or sinusitis or anything like that, it involves an inflammatory response from the body, which is a really good response from the body. We just don't want that response hanging around for long. So there's a lot of remedies that reduce inflammation, like vitamin C, MSM, CoQ10, mangosteen, turmeric. These are all very good herbs, very antioxidant, that help the body with inflammation. You also want to keep your gut healthy and your intestinal tract healthy, because 70% of our immune system's in our gut, and imbalances in the friendly microbes of the GI tract can create more inflammation or leaky gut syndrome. So the good microbes really like to eat a lot of plant foods, fiber, and fermented foods. Those feed the good guys. You may want to even consider a probiotic or digestive enzyme. But changing your diet's your best bet. You also want to get good sleep, because our body repairs and replenishes itself at night. And if you're in allergy season, your body's working really hard to combat all the irritants it's exposed to, and you really need your sleep. Exercise can also help with your energy and your sleep, because it produces feel-good endorphins. Managing your stress, because that further weakens your immune system. And definitely eliminate simple carbs and processed foods and lots of sugary foods, because the healthier you are, the better your body responds and the quicker you recover. So I hope that helps you with the herbs that can support a healthy sinus process during this time of year. Remember, they are local honey or bee pollen. We've got quercetin and vitamin C and nettle leaf. We've got Herba Santa. I really like mullein, and you can get mullein in a tea. Don't forget about saltwater sprays or washes, and don't forget about your essential oils. And you may want to check out Allergena. I'll put a link down here to their website. I found them really, really helpful. I even have bought a bottle for areas that I travel in, because I'm allergic to a lot of stuff. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Next week I'm going to be talking about mental health. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. So we're going to be talking about things you can do naturally, as well as the difference between mental health, mental illness, and some awareness about it. So thanks for watching. Have a great week.